Interviews, news, and views. You're listening to State of the Nation with Timothy Shea and Brian McClain on today's News Talk, TNT.
Over the past 20 years, there have been two parallel strategies for those concerned about the end of the petrodollar and our fiat currency. Move into illiquid hard assets like real estate, vintage automobiles, precious metals, and the like, or convert your Benjamins to one of the many new cryptocurrencies, which, although perhaps more liquid, are also more speculative. Well, now those two worlds are colliding. Joining us now to discuss is the CEO of Solemn Global, a transparent digital network where cryptocurrencies and real-world assets meet. Kirk, welcome to State of the Nation.
Thank you, guys. It's great to be here.
Now, in Ghostbusters, they made a big point of saying don't cross the streams, but this sounds like kind of a good idea, crossing the streams of hard assets and cryptocurrencies.
Well, you know, that's exactly right. And it's really was sort of the inspirational brainchild, you know, that got us thinking about this. I've got a variety of friends that have either been in crypto, some have been in precious metals, other type and kinds of investment vehicles. And, we look back and we remembered in the day here in the U.S. when the dollar was backed by gold, right? A lot of your audience will remember that. A $20 bill and a $20 gold piece were synonymous. And, I'm not an economic historian, but I believe if someone wants to check it out on Google or something, that was like an 85-year run of one of the most stable dollar values that the country's ever had. We know Franklin Delano Roosevelt got in, and part of his, strategy to fix the economic woes of the Great Depression was to, bring all the gold in and take the U.S. dollar off the pure gold reserve. And then oddly enough, when I was a kid, we moved from Boston down to Key Biscayne, Florida, lived across the street from Nixon's compound there. And he took us totally off gold and went into fiat. And, I almost want to say the rest of the story is history from there, right? I feel like it's evident that fiat currencies are out of control. I certainly understand some of your audience's concern. Maybe the petrodollar is going to crash. Maybe, the U.S. dollar is going to lose its reserve status. But then here in the last decade or so, we have seen it. We've seen an emergence of a whole new class. Call it currency, call it an investment. There's a lot of different terms people throw around, but I like the general phrase crypto, right? So whether it's Bitcoin or whether it's Ethereum or Elon made Dogecoin pretty famous, there's different types of currencies in the world, if you will. And one of them is called a stable coin, right? So a stable coin is a cryptocurrency that's pegged to something, and therefore it always remains in a constant value. And 90% of those are considered stable coins because they're pegged to the dollar. So we looked at a way that crypto could become more useful in the universe, which was as a true currency, right? Not as a speculation or as a security, or some people call it a digital property. But most of the people that buy cryptocurrency today, they buy it because they think it's going to go up. And there's a lot of speculative coins out there. And the reason people roll the dice on them is, you could go back. The number 2 currency in the world is called Ethereum. And it's anywhere from $2,500 to $3,400 here in the last year or so. It peaked at 4,000. It wasn't too long ago. You could have got that for 18 cents. So a lot of people buy cryptocurrencies really to play them as a security, no different than Apple or Tesla or gold or silver. People buy that in a lot of cases because they hope it appreciates. But inside that world, there is a valuable tool. There's an actual type of cryptocurrency that could be used in a transaction process, right? So I think it'll be a long time before you could pay your car payment or your electric bill or your property taxes in Bitcoin. But in a stable coin, I think that's possible because it'll retain the same value as the dollar, as time goes by. So when we were looking at all that and we thought, okay, well, there's an emerging second and third world economy. If you can get one of these, then you can access the cryptocurrency marketplace. You get a wallet. It looks like an app on your phone. You can get into crypto, move it around and things like that. And we just said, hey, what kind of currency are people going to want to participate in? What kind of platform are they going to want to work on? And it's going to be one that they trust, right? And if their goal is to use it in order to move money, store money, to do transactions, then you don't really want speculation, right? You want something that's pretty solid. And then when you say, hey, you can get out of it in gold, right? So it's backed by gold is a phrase people are using. I think redeemed in gold is a good one, because even back in the day, you had to take your $20 bill and go down to the mint somewhere and cash it in to get your gold piece, right? And I'm not a true economic historian, but I don't know how many percentage of the people that had the dollar or the $20 bill really did that. Knowing that they could do that, at least up until Franklin Delano Roosevelt got hold of it, gave them the confidence that they didn't want to do it, right? So long as they thought they could, they believed in it. So we thought exactly that, bringing these two worlds together, the real world asset, in this case, gold, and the digital currency together in one platform, or again, I'll call it an app on your phone or your browser. We just thought that was a great way to introduce it to the hordes of new users that are coming in every day to the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And the cool thing about it, I'm still getting up to speed on it, but I've been looking at it today, and it seems like your wallet really is where Solum Global sort of shines. Talk to us a little bit about how that wallet works and what makes it a better or at least a different solution than many of the other ones out there, because there's a lot of these things out there. It can be very confusing for new
You're absolutely right. Yeah. And so that word you use, confusing, is really how you might say we reverse engineered our wallet. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day when Yahoo was one of the primary search engine browsers, right? And before Google came out. And I would go to Yahoo and I could see everything on there, from the stock page to the weather to who won, the latest golf tournament, soccer match, football match, whatever. It was like the homepage of a newspaper. And then Google came out, simple as it could possibly be, a white background, maybe a word at the top that said Google, happy 4th of July, maybe if they really spruced it up, and then a simple little box. You put in a word, boom, you got the product. And so, that was part of how we came up with the idea of what we call the Solum solution. So the solution is going to comprise of certainly the wallet. And again, you get the wallet. I have one on my phone. It looks just like an app. Right? You open it, it looks like an app, it works like an app. It just happens to connect through to the blockchain. And that's what makes it a crypto wallet, and it works with smart contracts. But inside it, there's really only 3 or 4 simple buttons. There's a button where you can get into crypto. There's a button where you can send crypto, which is an outbound arrow. There's a button where you can request crypto to come to you, which is an inbound arrow. And then there's 3 little gold bars, so you can click on those, and whatever monies you have in your wallet, you can redeem that for gold. And so if you do that, particularly with the gold, like within, typically we've been on the road show the last 6 or 8 weeks demonstrating it live, but it's like anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. You get an email in your inbox associated with your wallet, which is KYC and AML approved and all that stuff, because we don't want drug traffickers and all that kind of stuff using it, because we're trying to make it for the masses. And you get an email and it says, hey, do you want to call us? Do you want to come pick up your gold? Do you want us to ship the gold to you? Or do you want to work on putting a storage vault, like a safety deposit box, together? So you've got an application that really only has 4 buttons in it, and it simplifies the hell out of a very confusing market or product. And I know a lot of smart people that literally just give up. They just go, I don't know. I don't understand crypto. Right? So let's just make it super simple. You can use it. It's just like Zelle. You can ask for money. You can send money. You have a balance of the money in there. And if you want to redeem it for gold, just hit the button and put in the amount you want to do. So I think that is what's going to make it possible for average people, average businesses. In fact, we were in Manhattan last week at a restaurant in Soho called Mamos, where we were doing a demo. We had maybe 30, 35 guests there, and the bill was $5,300. So we give him the card at the end of the night, and I asked the manager, I said, so you heard my spiel there, didn't you? He goes, yeah, I heard it. That was pretty interesting. I said, so when you run this card tonight, what's it going to cost? He said, I think we're like at 2%. Okay, so a $5,200 bill, that's $104 to run that card that night. So if you would have done that in the Solem solution and you'd use the cryptocurrency going out over the blockchain versus a credit card going out over the internet, and with that transaction, it goes out over the internet, it hits my bank, it hits their bank, it goes through a clearinghouse, bada bing, bada boom, going everywhere, and it costs 2% to get that done. Well, with the Solem solution, it's 1/10 of 1%. Right? So $5,000, 10% of that is 500, 1% of that is $50, 1/10 of 1% is $5. So the new way people are going to use cryptocurrencies, and it'll exceed whether the Bitcoin goes up or the Bitcoin goes down or whether it's an ETF or what. It's just going to be average restaurant owners, Priceline.com, Amazon. They're going to want to transact in crypto because it's cheaper, it's faster, and it's safer. And I'll say this last tidbit to your audience. Last summer, PayPal, one of the biggest payment card service providers in the world, launched a stable coin and a wallet. So, they're PayPal and they're big and huge, and we're Solem, and we're about a year or so old. So I want to say we have the exact same product there. They have a wallet, we have a wallet. You can access stable coins in their wallet. You can access stable coins in our wallet. You can do a transaction between a person and a person and a business and a government and a person. Any which way you want to move, spend, or store money, you can do that. And so we see that happening. And in fact, I was in Dubai a couple of, maybe it's almost a month now, but I was doing interviews with some tech teams over there, as we're growing our product offering. And one of them had just had Elon Musk on the phone. And Elon at X is looking at rolling out a wallet. And I think it's going to happen soon. I'm not trying to make an announcement here for X by any means. But when you're over there talking to serious tech developers in the, Dubai's the hub of the blockchain universe right now, and Elon's on the phone, they're getting serious about deploying a wallet. And everyone remembers he was a co-founder with Peter Thiel of PayPal. So I think, you're going to see PayPal's rolling it out. There's another payment processor out there called Stripe. A lot of people have heard of Stripe. They already will let you pay with a stable coin. And then we got X over here, making moves, and MasterCard and Visa, MoneyGram, Western Union. They're all looking at this because it's going to change the way people move money. It's just an absolute fact. And when you take one more step, and I don't know if we want to open a crazy can of worms here, but a CBDC, which most of your audience has heard of, a central bank digital currency, that's basically a digital stablecoin. And now it's issued by Darth Vader. The central banks. But it's basically the same technology. It's a digital representation of a US dollar. So, the powers that be, as I call it, whether it's the industrious startup type guys like myself and people from Silicon Valley and Seattle back in the .com days, and now Dubai, and there's a place in Switzerland called the Crypto Valley. So there's a lot of heavy duty tech hubs when it comes to all things blockchain and crypto. And this is the way the train is going. And it's just a matter of time, to see how long it takes to, get to the station nearest you.
Well, he's lucky to pay 2%. We pay 4.5% because it's a tobacco product is part of our offering. Stripe canceled us. We can't use GoDaddy payments because we sell cigars. But it's $1,500 for Visa and $1,000 for MasterCard just for the annual entry fee, just to be able to be allowed to pay 4%, 4.5% of every transaction. So $5 is compared to $120 sounds great to me. Does it work in the reverse? If you've got physical gold, can you send it to you and have it converted into stablecoin?
It's funny. Everybody's is bringing that up, and like any other company and any other technology and service, we've got to kind of roll things out in a manageable methodology. And so right now, in order to have, let's call it the marketing power and the strength of our message, which is you can go from crypto to gold, that's about as far as we've gotten it right now. I will say, probably a 30 to 60 day prep cycle, we could get that done and make it a possible transaction direction. We just haven't rolled that out yet. In fact, our actual, launch, I just got back from New York last week. We were at the United Nations, and that's where we're launching from. They've got a big, beautiful ballroom overlooking the river with a, big outdoor patio. And we're really excited about that. We're the first, blockchain or crypto type company that has had that opportunity, and it's been afforded to us through our sponsor there. And we're really excited about that. So right now, and that's going to be November 12th when we do this in New York. And in fact, I want to extend an invitation to you and Brian to come up and see it. I don't know how far you guys are from New York, but it would really, I think, be interesting for you to be there and see us kick this thing off.
Well, I'm just outside Syracuse, so I'd love to come down and see it. We'll have to talk offline about making that happen.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great. We'd love to have you there.
Kirk St. John's, thanks so much. This is your first time on State of the Nation, but it's definitely not going to be your last. We're going to want to have you back.
Good.
Go to solemn.global. That's SOLUM.global and find out more about this fascinating new technology and how it might make your life better. Kirk, we'll give you the last word.
I just want to thank both you and Brian for having us here and let everybody know how excited we are about being part of this new economy that's coming out now, really taking on steam. And we look forward to seeing everybody at solemn.global or in New York on November 12th. Thanks.
Outstanding. And stay tuned for more State of the Nation after top of the hour news and the Jason Bermas Show right here on today's News Talk, TNT.